Attention passionate Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Seahawks and the entire NFC West. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that has Seahawks fans buzzing with excitement and a little bit of skepticism too. It's all centered around Patrick SCHNEIDER, the Denver Broncos shutdown cornerback who's been making waves across the league this season. Imagine a scenario where the Seahawks pull off this move, trading for a top-tier CB like SCHNEIDER and reshaping their secondary into one of the most formidable units in the league. This isn't just speculation, folks. It's a real possibility, and it could redefine how the Seahawks approach the rest of this season and beyond. Let's start with the basics. Patrick SCHNEIDER, a rising star in Denver, has been nothing short of elite this year. In 2025, he's already logged 4 interceptions, 8 passes defensed, and 45 tackles in just 11 games. His coverage grade from PFF stands at an impressive 92.1, and his EPA per target is a minuscule -0.28, meaning he's consistently shutting down opponents' passing games. His ability to shadow top receivers has been a nightmare for offenses, especially considering he often lines up against the opponent's best wideout. For Seahawks fans, that's music to the ears because our secondary has been a bit vulnerable this year, giving up about 210 yards per game through the air. Whether you're thinking back to some of the big plays allowed or just the overall inconsistency, adding a player like SCHNEIDER could be a massive upgrade. Now the trade rumor is that the Broncos, who are currently sitting at 9-2 but face some serious cap space issues, about $18 million, are open to moving SCHNEIDER. The proposed deal? A second-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's right, just a second-rounder. It's a relatively modest price for a player of SCHNEIDER's caliber, especially considering how much he can impact the Seahawks' secondary. Denver is in a rebuild mode after being a playoff contender, and they're looking to free up cap space to bolster their offensive line and other areas. With about $4 million in cap space, they're trying to retool for the future, and trading SCHNEIDER could be part of that plan. This scenario echoes what we saw back in 2019 with Jalen Ramsey going to the Rams, who also had a big jump in coverage success. SCHNEIDER's stats this year make him a perfect fit for the Seahawks' needs. His ability to shut down elite receivers and his success in man coverage, around 85% success rate, are exactly what our defense needs to elevate to the next level. And considering the Seahawks have already improved their pass defense this season, with points allowed dropping by about 5 points per game and 10 more pass deflections, adding someone like SCHNEIDER could push us into the top 5 secondary units in the league. That's the kind of boost that could turn close games into Seahawks victories and make us a real threat in the playoffs. But why would Denver consider such a move? Like I mentioned, they're a team in flux. They're trying to shed cap and rebuild after being a strong contender in recent years. Their points per game allowed have risen from about 19.3 to over 22, which shows some defensive struggles. Moving SCHNEIDER could be a way to get younger, acquire draft capital, and get ready for a future that may not include a Super Bowl run this year. It's a classic rebuild move, and the Seahawks might be the perfect landing spot for him, especially with the recent injuries in our secondary. Rick Woolen, our lockdown corner, has been battling a hamstring injury, and having a player of SCHNEIDER's caliber would give us much-needed depth and consistency. So what does this mean for the Seahawks? Well, if they pull the trigger, they're making a statement. They're saying that they're not just in this season for a playoff push, but they're also planning for long-term dominance. Adding SCHNEIDER could be a chess move to strengthen the secondary and keep our defense as a fortress, especially against top passing offenses. Our defense has been solid overall, but to make that real leap into the upper echelon, we need more shutdown ability on the outside, and SCHNEIDER provides exactly that. His ability to shadow top receivers, combined with his impressive stats and proven success, makes him one of the best young cornerbacks in the league. Looking at the odds and projections, the potential trade has some interesting numbers. Betting odds for SCHNEIDER moving to the Seahawks have been reported between plus 2,500 and plus 900, with some sources giving him a roughly 14% chance of ending up in Seattle. That's not insignificant at all. If the Seahawks really want to make a splash and send a message to the rest of the league, especially in the NFC West, this kind of move could be that spark. A lockdown corner like Certain in the Seahawks secondary would make opposing offenses think twice, especially with the way our pass rush is starting to develop with players like SCHNEIDER and the others stepping up. And let's not forget, this potential move also signals the Seahawks' vision. We're building a defense that could be a fortress for years to come, not just a quick fix for this season. The coaching staff has been emphasizing the importance of versatile, playmaking defenders and certain fits that mold perfectly. His ability to succeed in man coverage, his knack for big stops, and his youth make him a cornerstone piece for the Seahawks' future. If the trade goes through, it would send a clear message. Seattle is serious about competing at the highest level, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Of course, Denver has their hesitations. They're looking at the big picture, and giving up Certain means weakening their secondary just as they're trying to stay competitive in the AFC West. But with the Broncos struggling to keep points down, allowing an increase of around 17, 5 points per game since last season, they might see parting with Certain as a fresh start. It's a risk for Denver, but a huge opportunity for Seattle. Imagine a secondary with Woolen, Certain, and our safeties. That's a nightmare for quarterbacks, especially if we can continue to pressure the passer and limit big plays. Now, for Seahawks fans, it's about dreaming big. This kind of move could be the start of something special. Think about how our defense would look, able to shut down the league's best passing attacks, giving our offense more room to operate and control the game. Geno Smith has been playing well, and with a lockdown corner like Certain on the other side, we could see a more balanced, dominant team. The NFC West is competitive, sure, but with a defense that can hold opponents in check, the Seahawks could be serious contenders come playoff time. In the end, whether this trade happens or not, it's clear that the Seahawks are always looking to improve and stay aggressive in their pursuit of greatness. The league is evolving, and teams that make bold moves now set the tone for the future. For us fans, it's an exciting time, watching our beloved Seahawks potentially make a move that could redefine our defense and push us closer to that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl appearance. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Certain trade? Do you believe the Seahawks should go all in for him? Would you give up a second-round pick in 2026 for a cornerback who could transform our secondary? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us, and it definitely matters to the Seahawks organization. We're all in this together, dreaming of more victories, more playoff runs, and maybe, just maybe, another Super Bowl trophy to bring back home to Seattle. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. This is your guy, keeping you in the loop about everything Seahawks, and I couldn't be more excited for what's coming next. Let's keep the passion alive, Seahawks fans.